Working to prevent wrong-way tragedies. Hello and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks for being with us on this St. Patrick's Day. DELDOT has introduced a new system aimed at pointing drivers in the right direction. The wrong-way driving alert system is designed to prevent the deadliest types of crashes from occurring. Located off the exit 95 off-ramp from Route 1 northbound, which sees hundreds of cars every day, sometimes drivers make the fatal mistake of driving up this road in the wrong direction. According to DELDOT, last year we had 7 of these crashes that resulted in 12 deaths. State police believe the ever-changing landscape of roads throughout the state may be a contributing factor leading to these deadly accidents. The new alert system is designed to flash red lights on the signs if a car is heading up the road in the wrong direction to alert the driver that they need to turn around immediately. The system would also allow DELDOT to dispatch state police to the scene as soon as possible. DELDOT is already considering installing the same alert system in other areas throughout the state if this pilot program proves to be effective. Fire officials in Newark evacuated over 100 people from a local apartment complex due to a ruptured sprinkler pipe on Wednesday night. Emergency crews were dispatched to the Fountain View Apartments for an automatic fire alarm. When units arrived, they found water damage all over the floors. Officials determined it was caused by a ruptured sprinkler pipe on the 4th floor. Fire crews evacuated about 120 people from approximately 64 apartments. The City of Newark building inspectors later determined that the building was uninhabitable. There were no injuries. Most of the evacuated residents have temporarily relocated to family or friends. The Red Cross was requested to assist with longer-term sheltering arrangements. A 52-year-old former employee of Seaford High School has been charged with 6 separate counts of child sexual abuse after he allegedly had an ongoing relationship with a 17-year-old student at the school. This week, Attorney General Kathy Jennings announced the charges against Jerry Sedano of Bridgeville, who was an athletic trainer for the high school. According to law enforcement officials, between August of 2016 and January of 2017, Sedano, quote, repeatedly and illegally engaged in sexual activity with the 17-year-old victim. Law enforcement officials said that there is concern that Sedano may have other victims while he was working at the school. Officers are asking anyone with information about any of these allegations or knowledge of other crimes to contact state police at 302-752-3864. In other news, Delaware's Public Education Compensation Committee voted this week in support of raising the state's contribution to teacher salaries by more than $10,000 over the next 4 years. Now, this is a slower timeline than one originally proposed by Delaware's statewide Teachers Labor Coalition. Delaware's base salaries for public educators currently lag behind neighboring states. Delaware teachers earn an average starting salary of just over $43,000 compared to $54,000 in New Jersey. Last fall, the Delaware State Education Association proposed raising base salaries to $60,000 by the year 2026. 70% of Delaware teachers' salaries come from the state budget, so reaching a $60,000 salary would require raising the state's contribution from $30,000 to $45,000. Local school districts would be responsible for raising funding to cover the rest of the salary increase. That delayed timeline would mean that Delaware would reach a $60,000 base salary a year after Maryland, sparking a month-long disagreement between the governor's office and DSEA, which argues falling a year behind Maryland would only deepen Delaware's teacher shortage. In the near term, Governor Carney announced plans earlier this winter to raise salaries for all Delaware teachers by 9% in the upcoming school year. In other news, a bill designed to require insurers to keep the price of EpiPens affordable unanimously passed the Delaware State House of Representatives this week. House Bill 54 would require insurance companies to provide at least one form of an epinephrine auto-injector, also commonly known as an EpiPen, at the lowest level of its formula cost. Epinephrine injectors help with severe allergic reactions. To those with allergies to dairy, peanuts, and shellfish often need to keep this medication nearby for emergency reasons. EpiPen costs have risen sharply in recent years, with the actual cost skyrocketing to over $600. The pens often have a shelf life of about 1 year, making them a yearly cost for those with severe allergic reactions. Coverage for adults would begin January of 2024 under House Bill 54, which now heads to the Senate for consideration. The Wilmington Fire Department says they are recruiting to try to double the size of a program being used to spark youth interest in firefighting. Fire Chief John Looney spoke with Wilmington City Council this week about recruitment efforts for the Fire Emergency Services Explorer Post 100 program. That program runs twice a month from September to May and rotates through the city's various fire stations. They get to train at the Delaware Fire School, get first aid training, and also work at community service events. The program is geared for 14 to 20-year-olds, and Looney said after they finish up school on June, explorers get to have extra special experiences. There are currently 8 people participating in the Explorer program, which dates back to 2003, although it went under a hiatus in 2019 until this school year. Looney said he would like to see the number swell to 14 to 20 Wilmington residents, and it could potentially be a feeder program to his department. You can learn more about the Wilmington Fire Department's Fire Explorer program, along with a link to apply at their website. The Delaware Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control will begin annual spraying of spring woodland pools to control mosquitoes. The agency says the spraying will begin in southern Sussex County, then expand into Kent and Newcastle counties over the next several weeks. Controlling early season woodland pool larval mosquitoes limits the emergence of biting adult mosquitoes later on in the spring. DENREC says the insecticide has been determined by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to pose no unreasonable risks to human health, wildlife, or the environment. The spring woodland mosquito larvae spraying campaign marks the beginning of Delaware's mosquito control season, most in which years continues until late October or early November. Locations and times for scheduled mosquito spraying activity in the state can be obtained by calling 1-800-338-8181, or you can subscribe to the Mosquito Control Spray Zone Notification System at de.gov/mosquitospray. The Delaware State Police graduated its 99th State Police and 95th Municipal Recruit class. The graduation ceremony was held last Thursday at Dover High School. The ceremonies recognized and commemorated the successful completion of the Delaware State Police Training Academy and consisted of 13 Delaware State troopers and 6 municipal officers representing the Bethany Beach Police Department, DENREC's Division of Parks and Recreation, as well as University of Delaware, Middletown, and Smyrna Police Departments. And speaking of police, law enforcement and transportation officials are working to save lives during the upcoming St. Patrick's Day weekend, as St. Patrick's Day is one of the deadliest times on our nation's roads. Law enforcement agencies across the state will team up for high visibility, life-saving enforcement throughout this St. Patrick's Day weekend. During last year's St. Patrick's Day weekend on Delaware roadways, there were 26 crashes involving drivers impaired by alcohol, drugs, or both, resulting in 2 fatalities, as well as 103 arrests. Officials want to remind everyone that drunk driving is 100% preventable by planning ahead for a sober ride. If your St. Patrick's Day celebration includes alcohol, you're asked to please make sure it also includes a safe ride home. The Delaware Office of Highway Safety is bringing back its Sober Lift program statewide for the upcoming holiday weekend. The Sober Lift code will be valid now until Sunday at 2 a.m. statewide. To participate, simply text Sober Lift to 1-888-991-2740 and you'll receive a free $20 Lyft voucher. And the Oceans Calling Festival has announced its 2023 lineup with headliners John Mayer, the Lumineers, Jack Johnson, and Alanis Morissette. The festival will take place September 29th through October 1st down in Ocean City after having been canceled last year due to Hurricane Ian. The festival will showcase more than 40 artists across 3 stages, including Weezer, Incubus, Sheryl Crow, and more. Pre-sale tickets went on sale yesterday with a public on sale following with any remaining tickets. The Jolly Roger at the Pier Amusement Park located inside the festival grounds will be fully operational for festival goers as admission will be included with each Oceans Calling Festival ticket purchase. For the full list of details and to purchase tickets, check out oceanscallingfestival.com. And that's going to do it for this edition of DETV News. Be sure to follow us across social media and take a look at our website. That's DETVCH.com. With DETV News, I'm Matt Ford. Stay well, have a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day weekend. We'll see you next week.